You have the under. You're only hurting yourself.
I know. This is bad.
Beep. Howdy, it's... Oh my god, Greg.
Did you hear the car horn in the back? That's good.
You need to handle yourself. Howdy, it's Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, and this is episode 135 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
What's good is that we're back.
We are back.
Totally unintentional hiatus.
Quite a long hiatus of just, I don't know, ridiculous things happening to the both of us, and we just haven't been able to make it happen the last few weeks.
Yeah, this is like, what, our fourth attempt at this?
Yeah, it's been it's been quite a lot.
I don't think this is going to become a regular thing.
Hopefully not.
This is a one-off occurrence, I promise. 4 weeks from now, we'll be saying the same thing.
Do you know what else is good? My Borgata offers that I sent a picture of you to you today.
7 days a week, 3 nights a week.
Three nights a week, seven days a week.
As I said, Christmas at Borgata. You can't be with family. That's dangerous. You should go to the casino.
Yes.
I think that's just science. I think Dr. Fauci said that's what you should do.
So realistically, Craig, when are we going to Atlantic City?
I have no clue.
Like February?
Oh man, that's painful.
May?
Brutal. This is just making me sad.
Like the situation's not going to be tangibly different.
Yeah.
For like 9 months or something.
Yeah, everybody else has to go and send us their trip reports and stuff so we can live vicariously through you as we are, over here clutching our pearls. Not clutching our pearls, that's not the right.
No, I think that's okay.
It's close. It's adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably more up for it than you, but
yeah,
such is the way of life.
I've been really just thinking constantly about AC trips and Vegas trips and what it would mean to be away from the kids for 2 nights. Because it's been 7 months.
Two minutes.
Yeah. I mean, my kids are in school and daycare, so I do get that time. It's work time, but it's better than work time when the kids were at home.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I need a weekend away. I need time.
In the city on the Atlantic.
Yeah. So it's my birthday next week, and my brother was like, you should take the day off, figure out what it is that you would want to do with your time if you just have 7 hours of no kid time. And I was like, obviously, rent a car, drive to Atlantic City, walk up and down the boardwalk, don't go into any casinos or anything, hop right back in the car and drive home. Just to say I was there. Eat outside somewhere, outdoor dining.
Yeah.
Should do it. That's definitely worth 5.5 hours of driving, I think.
Yeah.
And the price of a car rental.
Come on, Craig.
What, are you peer pressuring me into something? What's going on?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll meet you.
It's an even longer drive for you. You wouldn't even get there, and you'd have to turn right around to go home.
That's fine.
You'd get to the Wawa that you go to on Black Horse Pike or whatever it is. Yeah, you'd be turning right around.
I've short-circuited my brain, so I get all the endorphins I need, once I get to that Wawa, so there's no reason to continue the trip at that point.
The trip, you just can imagine the trip, you just go into autopilot, and the whole trip just happens in your brain.
Indeed. But judging by all the offers I'm getting, it seems like we are not the only ones not going to Atlantic City.
My offers are getting worse.
Oh, really? My offers are legitimately incredible. I get 7 nights a week, I think, at basically every casino.
Wow. No, my offers are bad. Ocean has downgraded me to, Monday through Thursday.
Oh, my God, Craig.
I know, right?
How have you done?
Ocean's doing well.
Yeah. Craig, I'm disappointed in you.
It's not me, it's Ocean. They're doing extremely well. It has nothing to do with their perception of me as a player.
You could tell yourself that if you want, but...
It is sad. It's funny because I get the mailers for through October 30th, and it's I'm obviously not going before October 30th, but I'm still disappointed.
Oh yeah, even if you're not planning on taking it up, but it's good to feel wanted.
That's true.
Well, anyway, what happened in 1935?
The Club Harlem opened at 32 North Kentucky Avenue, which is now an empty lot. It's sort of out from the Orange Loop, which we'll talk more about later. So it was really one of the premier, if not the premier club in Atlantic City for live music, live entertainment. focusing mainly on African American acts, but the article I'll link to at the Atlantic City Experience talked a little bit about how it was not just like an African American venue. It was like very popular for white, well-to-do audiences. Kind of interesting. It was around for 50 plus years. Really seems like it was one of the main social centers or cultural centers in Atlantic City, and eventually ended up sort of going under and getting demolished in the 90s. So nice long run for any entertainment venue. And now it's a parking lot like so many other things in Atlantic City.
Sounds right.
Thoughts on the Club Harlem? I keep calling it the Club Harlem. It's just Club Harlem. There's no the. I would be getting docked points in my journalism school for this.
Good thing you're not in journalism school anymore. As Craig said, I mean, I think the whole Kentucky Avenue was a very, very famous place in, let's say the 50s and 60s, I think, in the black community especially. But yeah, it was very well known.
Well, now it's like a block out from the GameStop. So if you've ever gone down...
Oh, I've been to that CVS right there. Yeah. I walked to that CVS because I forgot toothpaste, and it was questionable.
The other thing that happened, Monopoly was first published by Parker Brothers. And I don't have too much to say about it. I'll link to an article in the Seattle Times, oddly enough, that focuses on its Atlantic City origins. But one of the interesting things I found is that the really original version of the game was not based in Atlantic City. It was like built by some Quakers.
Yeah,
created by some
yeah.
Quakers as a way to talk about the ills of monopoly and teach the poor, uneducated, not wealthy people about how they're being taken advantage of. And then it got passed around, I think, mostly in the Quaker communities, and it would be adapted to different places like, Indiana, and eventually got to Atlantic City. And that is the version that got sold to Parker Brothers and eventually published in 1935. So that's how you have things like the Boardwalk in Park Place and misspelled Marvin Gardens and the Orange Loop.
Did you know, before we get into the actual agenda, some other big piece of news is going to come out tomorrow?
The data? The September data?
Our bet will be decided tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I really thought when we relayed for like the third time, I was like, well, we'll at least have the data because it'll come out on Tuesday. But no, with the holiday, it got shifted all the way to Thursday.
I know.
Terrible.
Clearly,
the Division of Gaming Enforcement does not care about Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast.
What someone really needs to do if they work there is just leak the data to us, just for no reason. Just like, because it says they got the data on Monday of this week or something, so.
How do they not care about us enough? How are we not on the radar of every legislator in New Jersey is really what I'm wondering.
Not enough bribes. That's how you get on the radar.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Nucky would be very disappointed in us, really. I think.
So, to stop burying the lead, the whole reason you're all here is because you want to hear us talk about Vegas Tripping, the podcast. It is back online, which does not mean that they're making new episodes, because they're not. But the old episodes, which were taken down for, I don't know, quite a while. It's been down, right?
Years.
Yeah. They are back up. I know I've personally talked about how Chuck Monster in specific, but Vegas Tripping and Vegas Gang, which I think still is up, right?
I'm not sure.
They were really the things to get me into, I guess, the gaming business and this sort of thing. And it was a big reason why. I mean, probably the reason why that we started this podcast. So
stop listening to this right now. Go to the link in the show notes that has all of them and just pick a random one that seems interesting and start listening.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but to me, like the combination of Vegas Gang and Vegas Tripping, which had a lot of overlap in cast or hosts or whatever you want to call them. It was sort of the capturing. Vegas Gang was very much focused on the business side, and then Vegas Tripping just did an unbelievable job of capturing the feel of Vegas and like having people talk about what it is that they loved about Vegas and why it was interesting in a way that's pretty timeless or pretty evergreen. So you can go back and listen to them now and not feel like, oh, they're talking about some restaurant that opened in the Imperial Palace or something, something that doesn't even exist. Like the episodes are still really good. I've sort of gone back as the mood hits and listened to like 10 minutes here and there of random different episodes, and it still definitely like holds up and doesn't feel like you're listening to old stuff.
The only thing, and I haven't listened to it since it's been re-released, but just based on my memory, I'd say earlier episodes might be somewhat better than later episodes, because I think Chuck starts getting very, very jaded towards the end of the run. But that's based on several-year-old memory.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I think there are a bunch of like really long recorded episodes in there that you can probably just skip, like the Trippies and
the Trippies are always like 7 hours. It's like 3.5 hour episodes.
Yeah, so this is only going to be up for a limited time. It was crazy to see Vegas Tripping and Chuck Monster come out of sort of hiding on Twitter for a very brief time to post this. And he said that we should all be thanking Han for badgering him until he did it. So Han cements his status as a podcast legend by getting Vegas Tripping back up.
Indeed. Han, the star of Macau Tripping.
Yeah, that you guest starred on for one episode.
I did.
That makes the full connection to Do for a Win. And then just personally, Justin W., I think as soon as this got tweeted, sent me a message on Facebook like, did you see Vegas Tripping's back? So I was very excited. I immediately downloaded them all. So I have them even for when they get taken down again.
I need to do that. I should do that. I'll do it tonight.
Episode 1, they're already talking about Resorts World. And it's still
getting close, right? Getting close.
It's getting close. New renderings today came out.
Ooh. So it just came out that Caesars is selling the Bally's name to Twin River. So Twin River released a press release that says it can rebrand virtually all of its portfolio properties under the Bally's name and logo, but it does allow Caesars to continue using the Bally's name at Bally's Las Vegas, though I believe that there's speculation that means they're probably going to be trying to get rid of that as well. Any thoughts? Or
Yeah, the Las Vegas Review-Journal article I'll link to, I'm pretty sure the headline, if not the headline, then definitely the lead, it talks about how this is sort of indicating or creates speculation that they are going to try to sell Bally's. But then most of the article is talking about how what Twin River is going to do with the name and the fact that Caesars is still allowed to keep using the Bally's name at Bally's Las Vegas in perpetuity. So they don't have to sell it just because of this, or they don't have to change the name of it just because of this. But I don't know what it means. If they sell Bally's, presumably that may not carry over. I would assume that doesn't carry over, but I don't know. I'm sort of conflicted on this, like Bally's, long live Bally's. Although I was sort of looking forward to a change there and to see what they did with it. And so if the branding's just going to stay the same, that makes me a little...
Anytime there's a chance to revive like an old classic name like this, though, I get a little bit excited because, the Bally's name has kind of been dragged through the mud a bit with the state of... And, I have to caveat this with I haven't been to Las Vegas in 7 years now or something. But, Bally's Vegas was never the nicest. Bally's Atlantic City is obviously horrible, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think people say they really like Bally's, what they've done with Bally's Vegas.
And that's what I've heard, too. But certainly, at least in the time when I was going to Vegas, Bally's was a shithole.
I think Caesars seems hyper-aware of what the ranking of their casino names are, like the brands are. Because I remember they were going to name... Baltimore was going to be Harrah's Baltimore, right? And then they were like, no, it's going to be higher tier. It's going to be Horseshoe. And I was like, nobody has any idea where those two fit in your hierarchy. But anyways, Bally's, I would guess, is the lowest, right? It's like way down there.
Yes, I think so.
So it is kind of funny that they're buying this Bally's name and they're going to rebrand as Bally's. But it's not like they're buying the Caesars name that is this brand name that everybody really has a high esteem for, despite maybe not deserving it currently. In my own personal opinion, but Bally's...
Not in Atlantic City, anyway.
I'm also not a huge fan of Caesars Vegas, but Bally's, I think 20 years ago, was a very well-known name, both in casino gaming and beyond. And I don't know if that's true anymore, but it's certainly bigger than Twin River. So if they're just going for name recognition, I guess that's a move in the right direction.
It kind of makes sense for both parties. I mean, Twin River, they get a name that people will know. And Caesars, they get to get rid of a junky piece of property and raise a little bit of money. A junky piece of IP.
It would be kind of cool. Like the Bally's name in general is like almost disappearing from everything. I mean, from fitness clubs to slot machines to casinos. And so it would be kind of cool if this brings it back to a national chain. I don't know how big Twin River's ambitions are to go fully national, but that'd be kind of cool. What other name does somebody need to bring back and restore to prominence?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't,
The Sands.
No, I think the Sands can stay dead.
Yeah, I mean, the Sands obviously still very much exists as an entity, but they own...
Yes, Las Vegas Sands.
Venetian and Palazzo and lots of things that aren't called Sands, so...
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Trump Taj Mahal.
Trump Plaza.
I mean, as far as like big brand, I mean, not the Hilton casinos. But yeah, as far as big brand names, I can't think of anything that's like...
The Golden Nugget. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Imperial Palace, man. Come on.
Oh,
you love the IP.
Obviously. I do. Or whatever it was called after that. The Quad.
The Quad. Yes, bring back the Quad. Restore the Quad to its prideful origins.
Bring back Hard Rock, Las Vegas. Whatever it's called now.
The Virgin.
Yes. Anyway, I don't know. I'll think about it. Come back to me next episode. I'll have a good answer for you, maybe.
I won't remember to do that.
Yeah. Bring back Binions, even though it still exists, but it's but a shell of its former self.
That's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of stuff in Reno, if you just looked at the list of Reno casinos that were part of national chains that still have that name in Reno. Circus, man. There was a Circus in Reno, right?
Is there? I've never been. I've been to Carson City, which is 10 minutes away, but I've never been to Reno. I will say, I mean, I do have to say, of all the, really well-known places, I feel like Binions is the one that was, in the absolute highest esteem in Las Vegas sort of 20, 30 years ago, and is pretty much of the lowest esteem now in Las Vegas. So that's always sad to see. I mean, to some level, I think, I really like the Harrah's name too, and it's not like Binions, but, I thought Bill Harrah did some, he's an important guy in the history of gaming, and it's not like Caesars is really, covering that name in glory right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Although, there's certainly both Harrah's Vegas and Harrah's AC have plenty of fans, so.
Yeah. I mean, certainly that I love Harrah's Vegas, so.
I do know that. I can't quite understand it, but I know it.
And everyone who loves ogling underage girls loves Harrah's AC.
So everyone loves Harrah's AC.
So the finalization of the actual property sale has been delayed, the sale of the Bally's to Twin River, because the Casino Control Commission canceled their October meeting. So what do you have to say about this, Craig?
Yeah, I'll link to the David Danzis article. Seems a little odd that something this big would get held up this way. I mean, they say the reason is that there's not enough stuff on the agenda, but I feel like...
Yeah, if there's a big thing on the agenda, they need to be more professional than the Do for a Win podcast, and right. They are not meeting that bar right now.
Yeah, we can cancel a podcast because the only thing on the agenda is... I don't even remember what the only thing on the agenda was. This.
Maybe they're like the Titans. They all have COVID or whatever. They have to postpone.
I mean, that's what I assumed when I saw that it was delayed. I was like, somebody has COVID. Yeah. But no, they're just like, we don't have anything to talk about except this property. One of the 9 properties in Atlantic City is being sold, and we can't be bothered.
Yeah.
They could schedule a special meeting at some point to vote on this, but I don't know why they do that if they couldn't just do the regular meeting with this item on the agenda.
No, I agree. It's ridiculous.
I'm assuming if there was a lot of urgency from Twin River, they would really be pushing for that. So I don't know.
I would assume so too, but still, I mean,
it's a little weird.
Act like a professional. Do your job. So anyway, probably the real big news of this episode is that unfortunately we got word that the Budokan and the Continental, which have been closed since March, are not going to be reopening. So they're now closed permanently, leaving basically nothing open in the playground as far as I know.
It's Sugar.
It's gonna be it's Sugar and Suzai, I guess. I don't know. Is Suzai even open now? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Suzai, Phillips. They were both up there. I don't know what the status was.
It can't be too long for either of them, though. Right?
I would think. I mean, you can't be the only restaurant up on that 3rd floor. It's brutal for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's
unbelievable. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was like, that really sucks because I liked the Continental a lot. I mean, I chose it for the best of. Yeah. At one point,
it was very good.
I think for a while I was saying, if somebody asked me what one restaurant do I have to go to, it's my first time in AC, I would have said Continental because of just the location and sort of the ambiance, and it was very good food. You are out over the ocean looking back at the casinos, and just at nighttime, that is extremely cool. So to lose that sucks, and Budokan was extremely well reviewed, although I don't remember what your review was. I don't think it was as glowing as the reviews were.
Fine. It was not as good as I was hoping it to be. It was the first and last to this point time I've been to Budokan, and I had higher hopes but it was perfectly decent.
Yeah, I mean, I was also sad though because just the state of the playground is so dismal, and
it's just depressing, right? You think back to the days where they had like the water show and, just restaurants everywhere on the first couple floors and actual retail shops open in there. And it's hard to imagine like how this could have happened to that piece of property.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been sort of in distress even before Blatstein bought it, but and really, I think it was on the decline by the time I ever set foot in the place. But I remember when I first walked into it, I was like, this is really nice. Like the water show, the restaurants, the stores. It was very high-end stores at the time. And we used to go to the Irish restaurant there, the Trinity Irish restaurant, every single trip. As our budget maybe increased a little bit, we started going to Continental, or I don't know if it was in our budget, but our sort of willingness to have a longer sit-down meal. We did Continental several times. Recently, the Continental and Budokan would have been the only, and maybe Suzai would have been the only reason to actually venture in beyond either getting some bulk candy from its sugar or maybe getting a Wet Willie's frozen daiquiri.
That's the two things that are open, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything, even the ones that were holding out, there was like the Apple Store, there was a Starbucks, that held out longer than most other things, but they're all gone.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the future is for the playground. Like, does Blatstein even have a vision for it anymore? Is he just basically looking to sell it? I don't know. It seems...
Does Blatstein have a vision for anything?
Hey.
Speaking of, why don't you get to the next piece of news? We can wrap it all in together.
Yeah, Blatstein has more plans. You say he has no vision. He wants to build a beach bar outside of the showboat. I don't know what that sound was from my neck there. There was an episode where that kept happening to Big Joe on...
The Far Superior Atlantic City podcast?
I wouldn't call it an Atlantic City podcast, but yeah, 7 Out. I would call it Far Superior. Notice I did not say I wouldn't call it Far Superior. No, but Blatstein has plans to build a beach bar outside of the showboat, which I don't know. I mean, he's got lots of other plans that he says he's going to do, like a water park and a casino. So I don't know where this fits into all of that, but I feel like the Atlantic City beach has a lot of beach bars, and it doesn't need so many beach bars. And maybe that's wrong. They probably all make a lot of money.
So many beach bars.
But it feels like there's just a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few. I mean, certainly compared to a few years ago.
He has not been granted approval. I should point that out.
And, nor should he be, frankly, because, I mean, they can grant him approval or not. It doesn't matter, because he's not going to do it. Although, it must be said, Pier AC was open for at least 2 weekends.
That's true.
But not when we were there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
There's, a certain threshold. It's Bart will try something out as long as it costs, $500 or less. More, basically. And building this beach bar is going to be over that threshold, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Bart's people are saying this is going to bring in taxable revenue. I did like Council Vice President Mo Delgado's response, expressing concern about Blatstein's ability to complete the project, since they have not completed other projects.
Right. Have literally done nothing with anything that they've owned.
Yeah, so.
The pier shops, the playground.
That's true. I mean, it feels like another thing, and this is brought up in the article, a link to the David Danzis article in the Press of AC. It does feel like he's building this package of things that he has approval to do so that he can sell it, right? So,
yeah.
So that a potential buyer has all these things available to them. I don't know. Another thing that is not going to happen probably under the current regime.
The city should give it to him because it makes it more valuable, which makes it more likely he's going to sell it, which makes it more likely anything's ever going to happen. But I don't know. It's a terrible situation.
That's a good point. I mean, it's certainly the most pragmatic way to look at it, right?
It's an awful situation. I mean, I think I don't know if we were the first, but we were certainly very, very early in beating the Bart Blatstein is doing nothing drum, and it seems like it's certainly played out, and I'm happy to see that basically everyone is on this train now. They've joined us.
I don't know if somebody's going to bring the receipts on us and tell us that we're fools, and that's not actually the case. Because I do think early on we were sort of in the same boat as, I don't know if everyone else, but certainly the city and the CRDA.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking that Blatstein was the sane one, and that Straub, who, seems like he's in a lot of trouble in Florida.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Glenn Straub, certified scumbag, not a good person. But even when Atlantic City sold Blatstein the volleyball courts instead of Straub, even though Straub gave them an offer that was twice as much money as Bart Blatstein. I mean, I think I said, and this was a long time ago, like, Glenn Straub is actually doing work on what was the Revel property then. Like, Blatstein has done nothing. I don't know what he's done to deserve this. And, I want to make clear that Glenn Straub is a terrible human being, and, that's certainly become true, and he's crazy, and, but, he was willing to invest some money in the city in a way that Bart Blatstein's not.
Yep. And he's gone now, but he made money.
And he's gone now. Probably to jail.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know all the details. There is somebody who emails me, actually. I don't know if he has a Google alert set up for Glenn Straub, but I do get an email every now and again about Glenn Straub's most recent legal troubles. So
yes,
it's good to be updated. So thank you for those emails. So how about plans that are happening? Development that is improving the city.
Yeah, the Orange Loop,
our favorite.
It is very good. Just before we get into this, to put it into context, sort of the difference between Bart Blatstein and all the money he's gotten versus, the kind of shoestring budget that the Orange Loop people have been using and trying to put together. And I think our friends down at Route 40, Bill and Eleanor, have been banging this drum for forever that, if CRDA actually wants to make a difference and revitalize Atlantic City, they need to be giving it to small business owners instead of large casino companies. But yeah, so David Danzis came out with an article outlining Orange Loop plans, including Heyday Coffee. It's going to be coming back. The Shipping Container Hotel, it's still happening. I know we talked about that many episodes ago as an idea. An additional live music venue planned near Boré. Is that how we've been saying it?
I think so. We'll go with it.
In addition to existing Anchor Rock Club, which is apparently a thing off the boardwalk by Ripley's Believe It or Not. And also maybe a marijuana dispensary because, why not?
Yeah, I didn't know about the Anchor Rock Club, which is open, or it was open and before the pandemic, just out from Ripley's Believe It or Not off the boardwalk.
A place I walk by, several times every trip there.
I guess I just, do not
avert my eyes,
finger on the pulse of Atlantic City at all, because I did not know that was a thing. But independent music venue, so that's cool, and more entertainment. Obviously, already existing in Orange Loop is Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall, Rhythm and Spirits, the Maid Chocolate Bar. There's a yoga studio, which is, I think, the article says was the first thing to move into there. Boré, as you mentioned. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that Heyday is coming back. The coffee shop that was at Iron Room is closed. So coming back and giving a good coffee shop in that area, my brother and I would walk over to whatever it was, when it was Heyday, we went there. When it was Iron Room, we went there and get a decent coffee and a breakfast sandwich. So it's good to have that option. The other interesting thing in the article, which I'll link to, obviously, I really like this article, mainly because it was positive and about a part of Atlantic City that I really like. Is Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall said their profit was up 30% this summer. 30%. Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that when I read the article. It's hard to believe with COVID.
Yeah, so doing takeout and outdoor business only, which I guess, a huge percentage of their square footage is outside. So they do have the advantage for that. But I mean, definitely indicates that there's an appetite for that, and there's sort of a shift toward the Orange Loop as a destination. Because we use the gambling revenue as sort of the hallmark, or whatever you want to call it, the sort of main metric that we look at to see how healthy Atlantic City is. And so for a restaurant and bar to be doing really well and to be improving when the situation for the casinos is not very good, that's a great thing. And I also really hammers home the point that you made, which is here's this sort of grassroots thing that's happening organically by small investors. That's not hey, let's give millions of dollars of tax breaks to some giant developer who's going to have some grand plan that may or may not get done. So cool to see at the very least.
So when did Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall open? Did it open last year? Because that number is almost too good to believe. I mean, I know certainly we've gone, I think the last 2 times we went to Atlantic City, though I think that's because you really like it. I don't think it's a place I would go on my own necessarily, but I feel like you dragged me there.
You love it, don't lie.
The food's okay. Our bartender was very attractive last time, so it has that going for it.
Well, it opened in off season in 2018.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So 2019 was its first summer.
I gotcha. That's good for them. I mean, certainly, yes, the Orange Loop, everything that's happening there, it's definitely a big positive for the city. The biggest positive for the city, that's really happening.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Sorry for the delay. If you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/DoForAWin. Find all of our amazing content and buy a shirt at doforawin.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at doforawin or me at Kyle Askin, and send Craig some questions to doforawin@gmail.com. Any last words, Craig, before we get to Boardwalk Empire?
I don't think so.
I just approved a Boardwalk Empire post today in the Facebook group.
I saw that. I liked it.
I thought it was cool, yeah.
I don't think I actually clicked the like button, but I'm telling you on here that I liked it. So that's even
I believe
better.
that I'm in the same boat. Yes. That's worth like 20 likes.
It's actually probably worth like 0.02
it's worth 0%. So I guess the plot is basically that the Commodore has a stroke watching Jimmy's mom do a little dance, which, causes a lot of consternation among Jimmy and Eli. His mom's trying to put a brave face on it, but doesn't seem like things are going that well. And you also get to see Jimmy's mom beat the crap out of the incapacitated Commodore.
Just very confused and making grunting sounds doing that whole thing.
Yeah. You also get to see Jimmy meet up with the nice Jewish butcher in Philadelphia to try to sell the booze. Nucky's working with Rothstein to get his booze delivered in Philly, since apparently he cannot get it delivered in Atlantic City without the Coast Guard seizing it. And while Nucky was having a big birthday party for Mayor Bader with some ladies of the night from out of state, his lawyer had a genius plan to get his state charges rolled into federal charges by having the ladies confess that Nucky's the one that brought them into state. So I guess moving ladies of the night across state lines is a federal crime.
Now you know.
So things are looking up for Nucky on that, because he should be able to get the Harding administration to help him out once that happens. I don't know. What else happened?
Nucky found the booze stash that the Commodore owned and blew it up, so that's a thing that happened.
Yeah, that's true. Got to see a couple of the federal agents at least one of them caught fire. The other one was pretty much fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If the federal agents, have kind of figured out that what's his name is crooked.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, because Van Alden, who's up and super pretentious about his righteousness and all that stuff, is now the one being looked at by others as like, oh, you're up to no good.
Which is obviously true.
Yeah.
He did murder a man, after all.
We saw that Margaret's stashing a bunch of money. Which makes you wonder what she's up to. You mentioned Ed Bader getting beaten with a stick on his birthday by a lady of the night. Oh,
that was very good. Yeah. Got to see the boxing champion come in as well.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Jack Dempsey?
That sounds right.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was. Made an appearance at Ed Bader's birthday party.
My main takeaway from this episode was that I should eat more apple bread, because Rothstein, who I trust is a very smart man, said that it
binds it up. Yes.
It has a binding effect. And he said sound elimination is the basis of good health, Kyle. So I think...
I mean, it's probably not totally wrong.
I'm not following that at all, as we've discussed at basically every Atlantic City trip. So I just need to get some apple bread, bring it on the bus in my backpack, eat it the whole way down, and then I'll be set. I'll never have an issue.
Fairly unwell, though. Seemed like he was in some discomfort.
It didn't seem like the apple bread was working too well.
No, it needs some more sound elimination.
Yeah.
Well, Godspeed to him.
Any other thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I watched it a while ago because, this kept getting postponed. So I think that's basically it.
Eli sure seemed right to be nervous about all the olds that he was getting into bed with.
I guess Jimmy's mom has that effect on people.
That's a good point.
Did you have a stroke, Craig? I know you were the number one fan of Jimmy's mom.
I was going to make a really bad joke, but I don't know if I want to go there. I was going to say I had multiple strokes. Well, it's in there now. Can't take it back. Jeez.
This will be only in the director's cut version of this episode. You need to pay extra for that.
Yeah, this is the Patreon. The Patreon, you get the one thing I've come up with on the fly in the entire history of the episode. But all right. That's it for Boardwalk.
The most adolescent jokes possible, only in the director's cut.
Yeah. That's what people want.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys again for listening, and sorry for the delay in podcasts. And
nobody cares. We don't need to apologize.
I went out there and I said that Vinny and Big Joe have the number one Atlantic City podcast, but we'll see what happens after Vinny has his daughter. We'll see if that takes its toll on him as it did with us, and brings him way downhill. Maybe we can retake the crown yet.
I don't know.
Congratulations, Vinny, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you all, hopefully, in 2 and not 4 weeks. I mean, we haven't recorded all of them. There's one that was famously... It was recorded. It was just mangled.
Yeah.
That was bad times.
That was terrible. I live in fear of that happening again.
It was the worst timeline.
And then everything happened in 2020. Because we've put ourselves on this timeline.
Thanks to not recording.
That's really, I think everything that's happened is our fault.